Hey guys, back with another proper channel update video this time. Uh, Obviously, the last one was a little bit rushed off the cuff just because, obviously I needed to get that out just in case. But wanted to take today and do a proper one this time, give you guys an idea of what's going to be happening with regards to the move, some changes to the schedule here, and what's happening with some upcoming events. Before I get into it, though, because of changes to YouTube's algorithm and all that, please like, subscribe, comment, all that. Fortunately, YouTube's now made it so that unless your content's getting interacted with, they're not counting it as heavily in the metrics as they used to. So please do that. Help me help grow the channel, and let's get into it. So, first off, probably the most obvious thing is, at least as of today, August the 18th, we're still here. Very least at the time of recording, haven't been hit with anything, haven't had to verify anything, thankfully. Obviously, that could easily change. Now, one thing I had been hearing is that if you were previously monetized, they're counting that as a form of confirmation of your age, because obviously you have to submit information in order for them to be able to do taxes and all of that. So hopefully, or at very least I am hoping that's going to be good enough and we're not going to have to deal with any of this other crap. As I said in my last video, if I do go dark here, you'll find me over on Rumble. I'll link that channel in the comments or down in the description below. Do give me a follow over there, because obviously if this channel goes dark, that's where I'm going to make my new home. As it stands, I've already started, backing up as much as I can over there. My one real complaint with Rumble is the file size cap, because at the moment, things like event videos cannot go up on there because they're ultimately too big. I'd have to severely crop down the size, and that's something I'm not at this point willing to compromise on. Obviously, if it comes to it, then yeah, I'll do it begrudgingly. But obviously, that's something we'll deal with and cross that bridge when and or if we have to. Hopefully, Rumble will up their file cap sometime in the near future, but we will see. Now, that's right now a pretty big unknown. Next up, schedule for review videos. I had talked earlier this year about the potential of going down to one review video a month. Fortunately, it looks like I'm going to be pulling the trigger and going down to that schedule. A couple of reasons for this. One is obviously time. This bouncing back and forth between here and Florida just takes up a lot of time, and between that and having packed up over 90% of my kits, I really don't have as much in the way of subject matter that I can review, or at very least not enough to fill out the rest of the year. And because of that, did the checking what I've already recorded, and if I go down to one a month, then I'll be able to finish out this year needing only to record one more review video. I'm not thrilled about having to do this. It's not ideal, but ultimately, it's what we're going to have to do. And plus, it lowers my stress level, allows me to get this stuff done and just be done. And obviously, with the potential for going dark on YouTube looming over us, frankly, I think that this is going to be the way to go just for the time being. At very least, it's the option with the lowest amount of risk. And right now, I'd prefer low risk than doing a bunch of work that ultimately gets tossed. Plus, as I said, with everything going on with the move, we can do this and then start back in the new year, new location, new filming setup, and we can, deal with a lot of this a little more easily. Now, going into obviously the move, as you can tell, still broadcasting from the same location. We haven't moved yet. Right now, we're aiming to try to get this move done now in November. This will be after hurricane season, so we don't have to deal with any of that. And top of moving, at the moment, we're planning probably next month to send another container over. Hopefully, have majority of the house to condition that'll be livable. We do have floors in. Granted, there's a couple spots that need some fixing, some issues there. We still got some electrical work that's got to get done, and we still got to get the appliances in, though those are at a point where it's just a matter of installing them. Thankfully, though, that's close. We are close there. It's mostly now just doing a lot of the finishing work that needs to get done before we move in, just because it'd be a lot easier to get done when you're not having to get around furniture and all that. So thankfully we're getting close there. Now, as far as event schedule goes, this is one aspect unfortunately I'm really disappointed on. I'm not going to be able to make it to Modelpalooza this year. Reason for this is because it's the same weekend as OrangeCon. And given that this will probably be the last time I'm able to compete in OrangeCon, I had to make the call to go with it over Modelpalooza. Excuse me. Fortunately, it is what it is. This is the problem with events ending up being on the same weekend. You have to make a judgment call as to which one to go to. So, while I am disappointed I'm not going to be able to make it this year, I am going to get one more year out of OrangeCon, though, and I'll actually be able to compete, which was the other major reason why I chose OrangeCon over Modelpalooza, because obviously with us not having completed the move yet, I won't be able to enter anything, whereas OrangeCon I'll be able to enter stuff. So it is what it is at this point. Had it not been the same weekend, obviously, yeah, I would have done both. In fact, that's basically what I did last year, as one fell on the weekend before the other. At the moment, though, beyond that and looking forward, the only other event on the schedule is SCGMC. If I recall correctly, that's early November. I'm thinking I'll be able to make it to it. Again, that's a big question mark at the moment, just because with what's happening with the move and all that. Timeline, at least in that area, is really blurry at this point. I'm hoping probably next month or two, probably definitely after we get this next container sent, should have a better idea as to whether or not I will be able to get to it or not. I'm hoping I'll be able to, at the very least, go to, record and all that. Big if is going to be if I have stuff to bring. Which at the moment, we'll see what happens. I've got one project I need to get to painting. I'll admit, been distracted with other stuff and gotten lazy on it, but it's basically at the point where it just needs some little touch-up work on some of the prep and then throwing paint on. Started another one, though I'm going to be shocked if I get it done given what I have planned for it, but we'll see what happens there. Of the two, I would say the first one's probably most likely what I would bring to enter, if I'm able to do it. Hell, depending on what happens in the next couple of weeks, I may even be able to get it done in time for OrangeCon. We'll see what happens there. Right now, I've got another project in the process of printing for an art contest for another sculptor that I'm going to try to enter and get done. Right now, we'll see what happens. Dealing with getting material for my printer is getting to be a little bit of a challenge. Downside of having an older printer is after a certain point, they just don't make the material for it. So we'll see what happens there. And yeah, that's basically where we are at right now. Hopefully we don't get any more screwballs thrown our way. The only other big one would be with regards to flight training. Thankfully, I was able to finally get with weight loss through my provider and got some good information. We're seeing progress. Actually, within the last couple weeks, I'm down about another 5 pounds. So we're making progress there, thankfully, and I'm hopeful probably once I get down into about the mid to low 240s, we might be able to get the spin training done. Who knows, maybe I might get really lucky and my school brings on an instructor that meets weight requirements as is. Not going to hold my breath, but, you can hope and maybe get lucky. So, that's where we are today. Again, mainly wanted to give you guys a bit of a more formal update video as opposed to that quickie one I had shot in my car. As I said, still moving forward. We're slowly getting there right now, aiming for November. We're going down to one review video a month for the rest of the year. Then hopefully we'll go back to the one every other week schedule starting in February. But we will see. Post move's going to be a little weird and might end up doing like we did this year and not coming back till March. It's really going to depend on both getting the new setup set up and what's going to be happening, because by that point I should have an instructor rating and will be starting up teaching. But we'll see what happens. Thanks for hanging out today. Again, please like, comment, subscribe, do all that, help the algorithm and grow the channel. And until next time.